Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations Live on a Friday night, where tonight I'm actually going to be making a door hanger. I think that's going to be the best term because it's not really a wreath, for my oldest daughter who, during the midst of all the COVID stuff, has been an active healthcare worker in her hospital system. So it took me a while to find the design, and I came across this on, I'm not sure if it's a Facebook post or an Etsy shop post. I want to say Facebook. Dore's Wood Idea. So Dore's Wood Idea is the one that came up with this design. I saw it, and based on what she does ultrasounds of the heart. She's gone to school to do that, so it's an area of specialty that she has. So I've been kind of looking for something that isn't RN related. It isn't doctor related. It's something specific to the heart. And so when I saw this design, the fact that it's in a heart shape, that has the mask, and it says thank you. What does it say? Healthcare Heroes. Thank you. And then it has the little cardiac line, or the little heartbeat line. I thought this is perfect. It kind of ties everything in. And then talking to her today and asked, what color is your front door? She says it's kind of like a dark charcoal gray, kind of bordering on black. So this again just kind of dialed it in. So I'm super excited to teach you how to do another rail. And rails are something that people can put up in their home. They can put in lieu of a wreath on their front door. They do really, really well. So like I said, if you're interested in this, it's on Facebook, and it's Dore's Wood Ideas is the name of the lady who does the rails with the signs. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Because we're in the private group, or not private group, public group, on Fridays, you can feel free to share this video. So if you like this, if you want to keep this video so that when you're ready to make one, you have it handy, by sharing the video, it's easier to find on your page than to find on mine. So feel free to also, if you're new for the first time, make sure you do a favor and just on my Facebook page, go ahead and click the like button, click the follow button. And that way, if you like and follow when I do go live, which is every Friday at 5, but sometimes we do pop-up surprise videos, you'll be notified when we do go live. If you're also new here, let us know. A lot of us have made really great crafting relationships and friends, just based on, where we're at and how close we are to other crafters that we may not know until we kind of get together on a Facebook Live. So if you're new, let us know that you're here for the first time joining, and tell us where you're from.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. So if you're catching this on YouTube, it's not an actual YouTube Live, this is a Facebook Live. So if you like my video and you want to see more of it, do me a favor and go up to this corner and click on the little bell. That will be the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And what else? I think that's it. And anything pertaining to the wreath, I've gotten some really good feedback from some YouTubers who want to know specifics about like who did the sign or who did that. So check that out in the description box. All the links will be included once this video is uploaded. So
we've got Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Jean. Hi, Jean. Felicia, Judy, Gail, Audrey, Amanda, Kathy Sanawa, Wilhelmine, Patricia, Carolyn, Maggie, another Gail, Cheryl, Georgia, Jolene, Lynetta, hi Lynetta, Donna, Debbie, Pam, Tony, Sharon, Barbara, and Debbie.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and start with the rail. Like I said, I've already explained where we got it from. Let me give you the dimensions on this, because this is a little on the unique side. So from widest point to widest point, you're looking about 19.5 inches. And then from top to bottom, about 15 inches, so 19 and a half by 15 inches. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. I kind of already have my string through this. I was looking to see, did I wanna do twine or do I wanna do, I guess they call it like clothesline twine.
Yeah, that's clothesline.
So this is what we're gonna be using. And I think, let me go over the materials. Did you have a question?
Nope.
You like stopped me for some reason. So let me put this up. So if you guys need more information, there's my website address. It's KatsCreationsNMore.com, where you can find information about my group, information about the products that I sell and make, and I try really hard not to replicate any particular design, especially when it comes to the door hangers or wreaths. Angel tree toppers and specialty items like that, kind of hard not to do an actual, you know, if somebody asks you, hey, can you do another lantern swag? It's not going to come out exactly like the first one, but we can do similar textures, colors, florals, and what have you. So this is my way of saying thank you to my daughter, who didn't get time off work while everybody else got to work from home. So being in the healthcare industry, you guys know how that is. You guys don't get breaks. So the first thing we're going to do is, you'll notice on the rail you have these two little grooved spaces, and if I get out of the way you can see where they are. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put 5 pipe cleaners wrapping around this middle rail. So you're going to see it. Basically what I'm going to do, I'll show you here with the red. I'm going to put one on the end, one about this far, one directly in the middle, and then kind of off to the side on the end. And then we're going to wire this last rail together, and we're going to go in between those 5. So there'll be a total of 10 pipe cleaners on this rail. So I'm going to go ahead and wire that first. I know it's probably easier for you guys to see it if I do red, but I'm going to alternate the red and the black. So what I mean by going between the rails is simply this. So you're going to wrap this right around the middle. I'm using the end of the heart to determine where my middle is. So this is what I mean by wrapping the rail. So I'm going to do one here, one in the middle, one on the end, and I'm going to come through and add those on the bottom ones as well. So let me go ahead and do that. I want my ends to kind of almost be transparent. So I'm kind of picking this up. I don't want to cover that though. So there's that one. We'll go ahead and put another one here. I'm actually going to move the ribbon off to the side and go ahead and put another one here. And we'll go ahead and do this one right about here. Rails are pretty popular for people who don't want to put a big old wreath on their front door. They just want something a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 in between these 2.
We're doing that. Debbie LeBrat says, hi Ken and Steve, second time on live from DeSoto.
Oh, thanks for
Missouri.
joining
You guys
us.
are great. Thank you, Debbie.
So here goes another one. And this design will actually go really super quick. So this is great if you have a lot of leftover materials, because you don't need an awful lot of deco mesh to put one together. I'm going to go ahead and do, now I'm wiring together the bottom rail here.
Jean had said she just ordered a welcome rail from Dore's, what it is.
Yeah, she has a lot of really good ones. I'm going to be showcasing a lot of rails here in the next couple weeks for different holidays and for everyday. Obviously this one's an everyday one. We'll go ahead and put black here. And I'm just trying to kind of toggle and do them a little bit differently.
So she's only on Facebook, right?
I think she has an Etsy store, but a lot of her new designs, you kind of find them. Like I saw somebody who had done this and shared this on her page. So I just reached out to her and I asked, are you still making these? And if so, how can I purchase one? And her lead time is about 1 to 2 weeks right now. I think it took me just under 2 weeks to get this. But the closer that you start getting to your seasonals like fall, Halloween, and Christmas, you could be facing delays of about 4 to 6 weeks. So here's the hint, order early. So if you find something you like, make sure you reach out and grab that. So this is what the frame looks like, ready for my mesh.
Got it.
Okay, so the mesh that I chose to use, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of fabric mesh this year. So I'm actually taking the black and red plaid that came from Hobby Lobby during Christmas last year, and this is gonna be the base. So I'm keeping it dark, and then I'm gonna add pops of white either in the florals or in the ribbon, just so that it keeps everything kind of color schemed, red, white, and black. These are cut to 25 inches, and we're gonna do the Cruffle method, which reminds me, I need my chip clip or clothespin, and all you're going to do is you're going to roll your edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're gonna put the little clip on it to hold that in place. And we're going to do the same to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to gather. You're going to pull that other ruffle with its chip clip towards you. You're going to take it out. And we're going to put one of these in every single one of the pipe cleaners. So we're just going to layer them and stack them so that we have a Deco mesh base. Having it painted black and picking a darker Deco mesh base is going to help us not just so much hide the rail, but it's going to give us a really good base to work on. So I'll show you guys how we're going to do that again.
So while you're doing that, Nancy Kornichek. Hey, Cat Steve, my friend was overwhelmed with happiness. She will take a picture for her to send to you. The black and gold mesh was beautiful. So is that
the military
wreath,
the Marines wreath. Yeah.
Good. Glad she was happy with it, Nancy.
Definitely. I love seeing pictures when people have made their purchases and then they get to share that. It's kind of like sending your kids away after you raise them, and then you get pictures of seeing where they're at and what they're up to.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of taking them just like I would do on a regular rail. I'm just doing the next one that I come to, whether it's the first row or the bottom row.
Oh, Betty Spencer said, Cat, your box went out today in the mail.
I'm super excited. I'm super, super excited. I've been trying to post some new products that are rolling out, like Hobby Lobby is getting into some of the jute mesh, and they've come out with some really unique colors for this year. I did pick up 3 different ones, which are black and tan, which is now, it's not in their seasonal section, it's in the regular section. Navy and tan, and then a moss green and tan. So those are going to be featured in our upcoming lives.
Everybody else said I bought a lot of that mesh last year. I love fabric mesh.
Yes, I bought tons of the black and red plaid. We did a ton of farmhouse wreaths, buffalo plaid. We did a lot of angel tree toppers with this color. So what I'm starting to see trending for fall is black and white plaid. So we'll see if that, like Hobby Lobby, all their stuff, like Garland was black and white plaid. It was, along with burlap, they had it on all their home decor. So
Amanda said, I just used fabric mesh for the first time this week. Loved it.
isn't it super soft to work with? It just, and that's what I wanted for this. I didn't want scratchy and hard. I wanted it to just be soft and fluffy.
And Gail replied to Betty, I can't wait to get my goodies.
I know, right? Super excited. 5. So, I love featuring small business people. 3, 4, 5, 6. On our Facebook Live. So, like, Wood Ideas. It used to be Wood Ideas by Dore, and now it says Dore's Wood Idea. And that's where I was first introduced to rails. And then after that, I was like, oh, we need to do more rails. Because they're super simple. And like I said, the fact that it's only taking 10 25-inch pieces means you can easily get by with one roll of Deco mesh. 2, 3. So here we go. What questions do you guys have? Have you guys used rails before?
Well, that's a good segue because Judy just said, how does fabric mesh hold out in the weather?
Really well. I mean, and I'm going to show you what we'll do with this once we're done. But basically with fabric mesh, number one, because you can't cut it with a wood burning tool, you have to use a rotary cutter. Because it's got all those natural fibers in it, all you have to do is get E6000 spray. I feel like this is a commercial. Right. But you're going to take this and you're going to spray the whole Deco mesh part, and you can do it after the wreath's created. You can lay down your base and then do it. It doesn't make it stiff. It doesn't make it all like hard and tough. It just helps those fibers to kind of stick together. And then if this is going to be outside in the direct sunlight, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we've been doing experiments since January 10th of this year. We basically took a large variety of different types of Deco mesh. Regular Deco mesh, the jute Deco mesh, high foil Deco mesh, dark Deco mesh, light Deco mesh, fabric mesh, and I just kind of like rolled them all in different patterns, threw them all on a frame, and they've been hanging outside up here in the desert in California because we have sun pretty much 365 days out of the year. Heavy winds, lots of lots of weathering, and we wanted to see if UV spray made a difference at all. Now keep in mind the directions for using UV spray says, and you have to read the back, sometimes it'll tell you to reapply it every 3 weeks. We just sprayed it once, put it out there, and did one without and one with. And believe it or not, the one with the UV spray, it still faded. It still weathered, but not as much as the one without the UV spray on it. So look for that post. It was on my page, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, where I showed you basically, here's the two side-by-side differences. Darker colors faded more. The red basically faded. It almost looked dry and dusty, but it wasn't. That's what it was without the UV spray. With the UV spray, it did fade out of all the colors more noticeably than all the other ones. And it kind of turned it pinkish in certain spots. So where it was getting the direct sun is more pink. But then if you look down to like how it's ruffled, you can kind of see the original red color. So I was quite surprised. So I will be offering that as an option on all of my wreaths for people who make wreath purchases. Do you want it with a UV spray or not?
And Betty also said that I found that rails are also a great product to have in your shop, so you can have at a lower price point.
Yes.
And you can also make them thinner so they can fit in between storm doors and front doors.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you for that too, Betty. Yeah, it just depends on what you're going to put in it. For me, I have a tendency of putting big bows on it, or a lot of times I'll put, for Christmas, a lot of fall picks, pine cones and stuff like that. So it just depends on what you decide to put in there as filler and how big of a bow you're going to do.
And you said the fabric mesh you found at Hobby Lobby too, you were actually pretty impressed with it. You liked it, right?
I haven't opened it up
You
and
haven't
tried it
opened
yet.
up yet?
This is their fabric mesh from Christmas, so if it's going to be anything like this, let's hope for good things. It's just nice to have options over the regular Deco mesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So having that natural look, I can see that a lot for fall, farmhouse, even the coastal with the navy and tan. That's definitely a coastal color for people who like that. And I'm in love with fabric mesh. You're gonna see a lot of that this year for me in a lot of designs.
Wanda, just to give you a tip, if you're watching the video, you can click really quick on the video, and if you click on it, you'll get 3 dots up at the top right. If you click on that, you can turn on or off your closed captioning. So if you want to turn it off, you can click on the 3 dots and then
Turn it off?
turn it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a default now. It just is on. I like watching it to see if it really picks up everything it is that you say.
It's been pretty accurate. I had it on for a while, and it is pretty accurate. Yeah.
We'll see. So now, let me show you what this looks like. Let me stand this up. So this is the rail with the Deco mesh Cruffles on it. So we just did 10 of the buffalo plaid, 5 on the top rail, 5 on the bottom. So now we're ready to start embellishing this and making it kind of come to life a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a simple bow. I say simple, I always say simple, but we're going to do 5 ribbons in this one. So the color that I have selected is going to be this black and red plaid with white stitching. This came from Pringle Designs. They're a small business that sells supplies. Wow, that's a big lead on that ribbon. I just hate to cut so much off. So you generally will always cut your new ribbon where they folded it, because sometimes it's an impossibility to try to, work with that or get that out. We're also going to be doing a black and white harlequin to pop some more black in there, but also pops of white. This came from Craft Outlet. And then these two, the black and red plaid and the red canvas, these both came from Joann's last year. So Joann's, especially if you wait till the tail end after the season, this was a 125-foot roll. And I think it was like 80% off. So just a standard red canvas, and then the buffalo plaid, and then we're doing the 1.5" solid black. And I think, trying to remember the way I had this, I think I did it a little bit. Let me do it this way. I might do it. Hold on. I play with it this way so I can see how they stack. I'm trying to remember how I had it. I think we're going to do it like that. So I want to leave something with a pattern to be the top part of my ribbon. So we're going to do the black and plaid first, all 1.5". And we're just going to kind of wing it. And let's see, I don't want to lose my stacks. So this will be the last, then this, then this, and then this. So the first thing we have to do is figure out how long do we want our tails. Our bow's going to go right in the center. So what you can do is just kind of take your ribbon, kind of hold it between your fingers and figure out what is the longest part of the tail that you want. I think I want my tails a little longer on this one, like maybe right about there, so that they can kind of curl a little bit on the ends, maybe a little bit longer, like right there. So for me, that settles my base part of my bow, and I'll tell you how long I decided to go. This is going to be 18-inch tails. So we need to put a dovetail on the end of this to give our ribbon a finished look. which just means bring your wire edges together, and then you're going to cut from the folded side towards the point, towards where your ribbon ends. And then when you open it, you have a really nice finished look to your ribbon. So 18 inches. I'm going to use my bow dabra. So with the bow dabra, all you're going to do is twist and then put your ribbon right between these two sections. It's just like little fingers to hold it. And then we're going to go ahead and make our loops, and I'm just eyeballing them initially for the bottom. So let me see. This is going to be 5.5 inch loop. And we're just going to do one loop on each side, and then we're just going to change color. Because we don't want the ribbon to be too big, but I do need this to be a bit longer. It's so weird when you pull one end, it makes it seem like it's not very long. Okay, so let's go back over here and find 18 inches on this side. And then we'll go ahead and trim this up. There's so many different things that you can put on your rails to kind of add some character to it.
What brand is that E6000 spray? Does it say?
Just E6000. It just says E6000 spray adhesive. You can get them at Walmart. That's where I got mine.
Walmart, most craft stores.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. I think you can even order it through Amazon online. It's not that hard. It's about, I want to say, depends on where you buy it, as cheap as $3, as high as maybe $5. It just depends on your source. And then we'll go ahead and add the red.
Oh, good, Stella. She said, hey, sorry I'm late. I received my first order from Kringle Designs and love the fabric mesh and ribbon that I ordered. Thank you, Kat.
Didn't you like the way they packaged everything? That was like I was most impressed with packing. They did a really, really good job. So I'm going to do 14 inch for this one. I'm going to bring them in. And we're going to do 5 inch loops on this side. So there's red at 5 inches. So I just got into the habit of moving my bow dabber around to keep my ribbon from tangling. It's just something that I think just kind of became a habit over time. And then we'll go all the way back out and do 14 inches and dovetail this. And then that way this one's done. We'll keep the ribbon available in case we want to add some little pops of ribbon tails through our design. And we'll do a harlequin. And we'll do this one right at 10 inches. So you're seeing that the lengths are coming up. And I think I'm going to do this one at 4.5 inches. Don't want to grab my bottom one. And then spin, and then you just twist. I twist and then get it in there, and then I measure everything to make sure my size is right where I need it to be. And then we're going 10 inches. What do you guys think of the color choices? Do you think that these work well? I think with black and red you can pretty much do just about anything. I don't know why this one has a rubber band. I could have sworn it had a pin in it, but it doesn't.
Betty said, Kat, would you share your hubs?
What?
I need some to assist on my lives. I promise I'll return them. No one needs more than one hubs, trust me.
Everybody does. He's a valuable asset. Because then I can just do what I do, and he can make sure that all of your questions are addressed. And then we're going to go 4 inches here. So I did 8-inch tail with 4-inch loops. And we'll bring that in. And out to 8. Caitlin's not on?
Yeah, I think she is on.
Is she?
Yep.
Because I was asking her, I was like, are you going to watch the live? She goes, am I not supposed to? I was like, no, you can watch it. You can see what we're making. Because then I'm going to ship this out to her on Monday, I think. Yes, Monday. Should get there by Tuesday or Wednesday. Whatever day you'll be available. So I'm going to do this one at 7.5. And then I'm going to do a 3.5-inch loop on this one. Just getting shorter as we bring our loops in. You have the option at any point to make your bows way different. You don't have to go with this formula, but this one will kind of show you what it looks like when we finish. And then also, if we don't like the length of our tails, we can always shorten those when we finish. Always better to go a little longer than a little shorter. And that was a new one, so no pin. Okay. We're gonna do this one, I think, with black pipe cleaner. So I'm gonna take everything that's stacked, I'm gonna pick it up, just like this, like you're gonna not really eat a sandwich, because you don't eat a sandwich like this, but I hold it so that you have that center section right in the middle. And then you're gonna take your pipe cleaner, and I usually hold it like this, so that I can see exactly where I'm gonna put my pipe cleaner, which is just go right down the middle. And then you're going to just twist and then just flip this around. It's easier to turn the ribbon. And then we will fluff. So to fluff, even though this one's going to be slightly different than how you've seen me fluff in the past, because we need all the ribbon tails to kind of go towards the bottom with it being a rail. So this is an 18 by 24 inch cutting board. I got mine at Bed Bath & Beyond. Originally I just wanted a big cutting board, but then I found out it works great as a fluff board. That's what I call it, because it's not a box. And just had Steve put in a C-hook for me. And then I'm just going to hook my pipe cleaner on it, like so. The cheapest way to doing something like this, rather than buying a cutting board, just go to Home Depot or Lowe's, have them cut you a piece of wood 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick in an 18 by 24 inch piece, and then voila.
Sand it down and
yeah, sand it down. You can put measurements on it. You can do whatever you want. Like you could do it just for ribbon lengths. You could go, you know, whatever you want. So when you lay it out, it's a universal tool. Plus it's nice, it just kind of tucks in on the side of my fridge.
yeah. Kathy Jimenez said, would you use 1.5 inches instead of 2.5 inches? I think you were all 1.5 inches on that for that rail.
Yeah, just because it's not very big, and I think if we went 2.5 inches, if we go pretty far out, knowing that this is only 19 inches wide, if we did, we would almost take half of the width of our rail to kind of get that 2.5 inch ribbon. So by going 1.5 inches, it looks smaller, so I can add more ribbon to it and not take as much space up. So to fluff, you're going to take your ribbons and tails and go completely opposite directions. So loop and tail, you go to the other side. Although in this case, I need my tails at the bottom. So I'm gonna bring this one up. We're gonna kind of do that for everything. But I'm going to mix my ribbon as I pull them.
Hi gals, just joining. And Stella said something that was funny is the package had the following posted warning. Contents are beautiful. That put a smile on my face.
It does, right? I know. That was the first thing. I was like, I like the box so good. It was so nicely done that I was like, I don't really even care what's in the box.
What did they say on yours? They said Kats Creations is taking the crafting world by
Kats
storm or something
Creations is rocking the crafting world in Victorville, California. And I was like,
yeah,
that makes me feel good. So yeah, just small little touches like that make a big, huge difference. Look, it wowed me. So I'm just kind of taking my ribbons and just pulling different colors around, pulling the ribbon tails to the bottom. But as I do my loops, I'm kind of staggering these in different patterns. Like here's my black and red checkered, here's my harlequin, here's plaid. Kind of doing this one off to the top. And then I'm gonna kind of...
are you still on?
She might be. She might not be. Depends on if she's on call. And then I'm gonna leave this one here and I'm gonna pull this one up, but pull my black down. Just so that it's kind of, it breaks up all the different colors and patterns. I might cut this one down. It seems way long.
Well, you have to see once you get it on there.
Yeah. So let me show you what it looks like so far. Trying to untangle the harlequin. I like all the canvas ribbon. I'm not a fan of the printed on the polyester. But let me show you what this looks like. So there's our bow for the rail. So I'm going to take this off the same way I put it on, just like so. And now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the rail. I'm going to go ahead and remove my center pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to give it a couple extra twists. And then this is where my bow is going to go. So let me find my pipe cleaners. And we're just going to take this all the way down to the rail. Okay. This is unlike when we're doing it on our wreath bases, where, you know, we have quite a variety of space available to pick from. Here you gotta you gotta pick what's available. So we only have that one top or the bottom.
You have to pick it up so everybody can see it.
Yeah, it will. Let me put it on first. Okay. Let me do my fluffing. Open all these up. Okay. So this is what it looks like now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to go in and start embellishing a bit. I'm going to move this to the side, Steve, just so I have more space. I need space. Lots of space. That's why I picked my kitchen counter. Okay, so I want to add some floral in here. I want to make it fun. I want to make it a little bit feminine. So I have pulled some. Hobby Lobby sells these roses. I like the ones with the fake water on them. So I'm going to cut off some of the white and some of the red. Blue, obviously, because it doesn't go with this design. Here's another white. So I'm just going to pop this, take some of these off. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I have the other red one over here. Here we go. You want to make sure if you're using your florals, you push your greenery all the way up. Because this is such a shallow base, I don't need tails that long or a stem that long. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of place these randomly. See if I like where they're at before I fix glue to them and make them permanent. So I'm leaving it with about 2.5 inch stem. And I'm kind of making like little bunches like that. Do you see, babe?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to do the same here. Snip. Push this all the way up because we want to see that greenery. These. We're going to add these to the other side. And I'm going to remove a couple of the pipe cleaners for now, right where I want my florals to go. Let's do this one a little opposite. We will put the white on top and the red on the bottom so that we kind of have it going like so. Steve?
Yep, I can see it.
He's so good on the comments that I'm like, am I in focus of the camera? Not in focus of the camera? Then I have some baby roses. These came from Michael's, so I have them in red and white. It's kind of hard trying to find black florals. So we'll pick one of each. Again, although this is not rose base color, like these are not rose leaves. There we go. Kind of mix those together a bit. And then, let me see, I think I want these towards the outer edge. So I'm going to move more pipe cleaners, finish those off. So I just twist them about 4 times and then I take them and push them back towards the center of the rail. That one's a little too long. Let me kind of look and see. So remember, we're just placing for now. That's kind of what I've done on one side. So now I'm going to do it on the other. There's that one. And I think these were like 50 cents last year when these florals are like $1.99 normally. So when they're half off, you know, it's like $1. But I love Michael's florals. They have really good quality florals. So I just kind of mix them up so the roses are not all the same color. So let's go ahead and cut this one off. These two, remove this one, and then if we like the way that looks, we can go ahead and glue them in. So this one was red on top.
Francis, as always, you have the best ribbon.
I think, like I said, for some reason I gravitate towards the same colors or the same patterns, and in this case just picking, you know, buffalo plaid. It was kind of like one of those, oh, it's just right there saying, use me, pick me. Okay, so let me kind of show you what it looks like so far. They're not glued in. So this is where we have everything.
Got it.
Okay, so now I'm going to glue them in because I like the way that they're coming along. I'm going to cut down the stems just a little bit more so they're not poking out from the back. And these are just going to glue right to the mesh. So when you add it into any Deco mesh base, it kind of forms like a little net. So I'm just using glue with Gorilla glue sticks. Making sure I have my order correct. Normally I use my glue skillet, but I didn't even realize that I was like 2 minutes from going live. I'm like, oops, I'll just grab my glue gun and we'll just use that one. So those are all glued in. We'll do the same here. Just cut these down a bit more. I think this one's just a touch longer. Always make sure your glue gun's on low. If you don't have a dual temperature glue gun, I highly recommend that you do, because most of the time we burn ourselves on the glue because you know, the melting point of glue has to be so hot in order to melt, and most of the time we set it too high. Or if it's just a singular temperature, it's going to be basically high. So go ahead and pull that off. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these ones on this side. Taking these down a bit, because I don't want to see them sticking out from the back. And this one we're going low. And then we're going to go high. I don't think we need an awful lot of greenery in here. I think just the right amount of color with the rose petals or the rose leaves is fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull these ones out.
Hi Sabrina. Hi gals, just joining.
I saw that one kind of fly in here. And I use a silicone mat so that I can kind of use this a little bit like a skillet. I can just scoop my glue up and then just kind of tuck it in where I need to, and then just rearrange my florals where I need to. I'm trying to break them up so it's not all white in one spot, not all red in another. So now they're all glued in. So now they're like permanently home. Like looking at the back, I might have to trim some right here, but that's the only one that I see kind of protruding out is just this one. So I'll let it dry and then we can just snip it off and make it flush with the back. Okay, now what else do we need? We can add some ribbon tails in. I'm trying to think of what color I want to add some additional pops of color. What do you think, Steve?
I think you should do the red, black, and white check.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's got enough white in it that it pops with the mask and the sign.
okay. So we're gonna pop a couple.
What do you think?
I think so. I'm gonna do what's just called a singular, like little tail. It's like a half. Is that like half a bow with a tail? It'd be like if we were doing half bows. So now we will grab.
Caitlin just put a little smiley face on it.
She's like, so far it's coming along good. So this is where we can just take these little ribbons, add a, I don't even need to add this. I have my tails.
Yeah, you got the pipe cleaners there, right?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna add some little pops into those extra ribbon spots. I'm not like in particular, like I'm not worried about like, oh, how long was the tail? How big was the loop? I'm making them different. Like one side of the tail will be a little bit longer than the other. Move this over. And kind of go a little bit like so. So I'm going to add some more to this side. We'll take this one, and then I'll probably add the Harlequin. So I just dovetail them, and then I just kind of look at the length, and then I just make a little loop, and then I just cut it off. Add your dovetail on this side. And you could do it a wide variety of ways. You could just do, you don't have to do a loop. You could just do a tail, no loop. So I'm just adding these into those extra pipe cleaners. And just adding some different textures. I'll show you what I mean. We're going to add a couple more Harlequin. And then I have one here. I've cut quite a bit of them off. I think I have another one up here. Yes. Okay, so we're going to let's do a Harlequin one here. Let's just do it this way. And do this side. This is what I'm saying. I think I would end up going lower on these, but if you just wanted like a pop of ribbon, that's a little too long. But you could just put that in there without the loop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just picking random lengths. Like that.
It was a beautiful wreath hanging on your door, which reminds me, my husband tore out our old refrigerator apart the other day, and I'm going to use that door for taking pictures. Wow, must be a nice refrigerator door then.
Well, some people have like, you know, the ones that you can't really tell.
Yeah, they look like they're part of the cabinet.
Yes, I love those.
And Fran said, love the wreath on the door. I zoomed in a little while ago.
Okay. I'm going to kind of pull this one down over by the roses. Kind of tuck them in a couple random spots. But did that one. Did that one. Did that one. Okay. I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, did I really cut off all those pipe cleaners? Yes, I did. Now we'll add one to the other side. Make this one with a little bit bigger loop. And I might add just a couple more bunches of the mini roses, a little bit down towards the bottom. Okay. I saw my pipe cleaner here before. Is it below? Yes.
Jean said, gorgeous rail.
Thanks, Jean. That's something fun. And like I told her, I'm like, you can put it on your front door for a while, and then if you need to, you can take it down and just put it in your department. So you can thank everybody. Okay, let's add some pops of roses to the bottom, and then we'll finish up the top and add our little finishing bow, and then we'll be done. It's a really super simple design. This one, most of these are all picked off, so I'm
I
going
like the little mini
to.
ones though. They're pretty.
Huh?
I like the little mini ones. They're pretty.
Mm-hmm. Take that. Let's see. A lot of times they just get fuzzy. Yeah, I like buying the mini roses because you can always use them. So as you can see, I'm just kind of intermixing them, just kind of weaving them in between, and then I really need to make sure my stems are cut down. That's what this one was. And then I'm gonna just tuck these right in here.
Glue them in.
Yeah, I will. I need to look and see if I'm happy with where they are before I just slap glue on them and then go, oh, I didn't really like that there.
Georgia said it's beautiful. Can't wait to make one. Hi, Missy.
They're super fun to make. So I'm liking that one, and I think I'm going to do the same to the other side, just so that because it hangs on a door, the things towards the bottom are just those little extras. So when you're lacking, you can always readjust. Sometimes you just don't get a full bunch. So we'll do the same thing here. Just kind of weave them all together and make your own little bunch. Want to take these down a bit more. You kind of want to be careful so that you don't cut them too short and then you have nothing to hold on to while you're gluing it. We're just going to weave
Tony
it.
says she likes the black and white ribbons. It really makes it pop.
Yeah, like you have to put just a little bit of white in. And flip this around and glue my other bunch in here. This one's a little too long. Okay. It's like you're trying to push them in, but not so far that you're like touching the glue part. You don't want to get burned. But let me show you. Pull these aside and see what you guys think. This is what our reel looks like. What do you think?
Oh yeah, super pretty.
I'm just twisting my twist tie on the back. So the nice thing about rails is they're finished on the back, so you don't have to worry about that. And then it's up to you how you want to hang it. I prefer to use, whether if I'm doing more of a rustic, I'll do the twine. Obviously this one's a little bit more contemporary, so I'm going to use white twine and hope that this one goes through. Let's make sure. Sometimes when they paint, you have like the edges where it doesn't want to go through all the way. Okay, come on. There we go. So I'm kind of eyeballing it And then, like, kind of here's where, let me take this one off the door so I can show you what I'm doing. So when you're adding your string, it's up to you to decide how low do you want it to hang. So technically right now, it's not secured. So it's gonna hang right about there, and this is on a normal door. So if you want it up higher, then it'll stay. Just because it's such a snug fit. If you want it a little higher, you can adjust them before you go ahead and send it. And I'm happy where this one is because it's gonna get a bow up here to kind of complement what's going on down here. Does that look okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put knots in the back, right where I want my string to stay, and we'll cut off the excess. And then what I do, or what Steve does, is we, because this is a cotton ribbon, we take a lighter to the end and melt it so it doesn't continue to...
You're gonna have to tie it in a knot.
What?
You're gonna have to tie it in a knot, right?
Yeah, I am right now.
Okay.
But just to keep the rest of this from fraying once you cut it, you would just melt it with a lighter, and then that way it won't continue to fray. So now we're gonna pick 2 colors, and I'm thinking we have so much of the red heart. So for an accent bow, I'm thinking maybe, do I want to do this and maybe the Harlequin, or should I do these 2 for the top, or should I do this in black? I'm thinking this in black, like this with the black. Watch, we're just gonna do a super simple bow. I think I can hand tie this one. I think. We'll see. So I'm looking at my hanger, and you don't want to go super long because obviously this is going to get in the way of your sign. You don't want it impacting your sign at all. So I'm doing, these are really super small.
4 or 5 inch.
It's like 6 inches. So we're going to do a loop. They have to be small. So a loop, and that's about 3-inch loop. So we'll do another 3-inch. I'm trying to make sure that they're, for some reason this one looks way bigger. I'm trying to make them. So let me dovetail that. So there's my little baby bow. So I'm gonna use my bow dabber to hold it for now, so it doesn't come apart. And then I will add this to give it the pop of color, so that the heart really stands out. Okay. 6 inches. We want it pretty much the same. 3-inch loop. You could do it in your bow dabber and just put it in there. So I'm trying to like eyeball them. I think this tail's a little on the long side, but...
You do the black in the back?
Yes. You're funny. So, now I'm going to go ahead and take this one, put this one here. We'll use a black pipe cleaner to hold it all together. then we kind of have to do our little finger fluff. So I'll make one loop go up.
Right, Fran? She said, I can't wait to see it hung.
I know. Well, I kind of hung it a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I mean finished.
Yeah. So let me even these up, because this one I cut way too long. There we go. So we'll go ahead and attach this to the top. Start that off.
Yep. Tie your knots.
The knot's already tied.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Didn't you watch me do that? You asked me before, you're like, you gonna tie it in a knot? And I'm like, I already have. Yes. So, here we go. Kind of have to put it between my little hook. So we'll put this one up, this one come down. Why are smaller bows have? It's because of the hook.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm stretching. Do this. Fix all these. And then let's fix this. So I just prefer, it's all preference. Some people like swirls, some people like curls. Let me do this. And we're gonna pull it. Open them up so they're not quite so. This one. Let's curl this one. And there you guys go. And just that simple.
Maggie, you could probably ship this in a 20 by 20 by 4 or a 22 by 22 by 4,
Well,
maybe a 6.
It came, just the rail, it was shipped in a 20 by 20 by 4 inch box, and it was way too big. It could have easily fit in probably an 18 by 18 box, so this would probably, the way that it's done.
You have to angle it, right? So
Let me look. I'll tell you how big this finished design was, because we know that the dimensions of the rail were 19.5 by 15, right? So let's look. So this just gets kind of put on the sign when you're shipping it. Let's look. Yeah, this would easily go in a 22 box. And that would still give you plenty of room. And then they could take the bow off or leave the bow on the top. I prefer to leave the bow on, but it's entirely up to them. But put my little thing back. Readjust these.
Sorry, Peggy.
What?
She said just in time to miss it. Was mowing the grass by headlights before the rainstorm hit.
Poor thing.
Caitlin said it's perfect as always. You never cease to amaze me with your raw talent.
Doesn't it kind of look a little like Alice in Wonderland?
Thank you for taking the time to make it for me. I feel so loved and
course.
appreciated.
So yeah, so this is gonna get shipped out to my daughter as a way of saying thank you. I've been looking for a sign that would work for what it is that she does, and seeing the heart with the little heart line and the mask, it just kind of like went in conjunction with what I wanted so that she could hang that on the door in her neighborhood. And then, like I said, if the seasons come up, she can take it and donate it to her department leader. So last minute things to talk about. One, on my website, things you can find. I have created about 12 different wreath making kits. So it's everything to create a wreath, from the signs to embellishments to ribbon to deco mesh, everything but the frame. So you can decide if you want to use all the materials to make a rail, or you can use it on a grapevine, or on an evergreen base, or just on a deco mesh base. But the kits contain enough materials to make 2 to 3 wreaths, depending upon your design choice. Like if you decide to do 30-inch Cruffles, you know that 2 rolls of deco mesh isn't going to get you very far. You'll find those on my website, so I'm selling those. We do everything from beach to baby shower. Every day there's dog lovers, so those are all there. Baseball and football is also there. What else? Ribbon bundles. So if you like how I kind of put the ribbons together, we're selling ribbon bundles. The smallest one is a 3 ribbon bundle, and they go all the way up to an 8 ribbon bundle pack. So it just depends. There's sports, there's beach, there's dog, there's Christmas, there's Halloween, there's fall. So check those out if you guys are interested. Then it's like I send you everything you need to make these items, and then I can't wait to see what you create. If you're interested in joining my private group, you can find information out about that as well on my website, which is just like Steve has my sign.
I've got it pinned to the bottom too, so they can see.
Yeah. So it's KatsCreationsNMore.com. So you can find all that stuff. Plus you can find everything that I have made so far. And if you have any questions, let me know. The private group meets every Sunday and Monday at 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the replays are always available. And I want to say, I did a count, and I want to say I think I have 86 separate, 106 additional tutorials. So from 2018 to current in my private group, you get all of those. And 86 business tutorials, which walk you through everything from Facebook business pages to opening an Etsy shop to using Pinterest and Instagram and free apps to market your products so that you can hopefully be a success. And all for $17 a month, plus detailed materials list. Like everything, they all get a materials list that they can print out, shop, and that's pretty much it. Any questions?
No, thank you, Audrey, for another great comment and post.
Again.
She said just another gorgeous, and our healthcare heroes need to know that they are an important part of our team. Yeah, Robert said thank you. I'm in the healthcare world too. Never stopped. Y'all are awesome.
I know. Thank you all for those that have been working diligently while the rest of us were quarantined at home. So that's truck drivers, that's first responders, our people in healthcare, it's our grocery store workers, it's our pharmacy technicians and people that ran Walgreens and CVS and Rite Aid, and who else am I missing?
Even our fast food places.
Yeah, fast food. Everybody who was available that continued to work, we appreciate you and we thank you, because there's still people that are continuing to do that. And so many businesses are suffering. We're still not at 100%. So when you have the opportunity to support small business, because it means the world to small businesses like myself and others, to let us know, hey, you're out there, you're supporting us while we're waiting for everything to hopefully go back to normal.
Yep.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. Can't wait to share with you what we're going to be making next week. I think you will be very impressed. We're just waiting for all the supplies to show up, and I'm hoping they'll all be here by the early part of next week. So have a great weekend, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye, everyone.